chair.
Oh.
What happened last week? Who remembers?
So much.
I just purposely forget this stuff now.
I got stolen.
Purposefully.
So, there we were.
Oh.
There we were. We escaped hell with the help of friends. Then, we had awkward moments where we ate breakfast, talked about our problems, and then we moved into a room where we met Ilyana, this amazing wizard person, who took us to a council. This council was of all the land's leaders, where we had discussions about what to do about what's going on. And what's going on, you might say? The whole world is kind of going downhill.
Just a little bit.
As you have the red hand?
Red hand.
Bunch of angry goblins, orcs, a bunch of people banding together to fight Bravadus being besieged. Lior is being besieged. And then you have rumors of dragons coming around and blowing shit up. That's not good. And then we're here, the heroes of Rivergate. Best heroes. We're not that heroic because we forgot a lot. So to bring up a bunch of different things, it really didn't make sense. But one thing that did is we spoke about something called the dragon orbs. Orbs used to fight dragons from the Dragon Wars. They were used by people called the Dragon Knights to kill dragons. They were supposed to have been destroyed, but instead they were hidden away, not destroyed. And they were kept and gathered together by Lior from the head wizard. Don't know that part. His name's Novar. The All-Seeing Eye. Right?
The circle of the all-seeing eye? Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, that's the circle.
I improved. Okay, I remember more. And he sat on them trying to find a way to destroy them, do what he can. And he failed. So he kept them hidden and safe for as long as he could. And now the dragons have asked us previously to find them. And now, time that we do so. Now we stand before the council, having agreed to find the dragon orbs and bring them back. Certain factions stating that they only help if they're destroyed. Others saying that once we have them, they'll join. So we have our task, and we're staring at the council. What happens on this week's episode? I don't know.
Sat on them like eggs. Yes.
They were cold.
Do we have a lucky number yet?
Do we have a lucky number tonight? You rolled the lucky number last time. Let's have Tara choose.
Okay.
I did?
Yeah.
16.
No?
16 is the lucky number for tonight, and you can grant one player at the table who currently does not have inspiration. Man, English is a weird language because technically that worked.
It did work. And nobody has inspiration right now. So.
Nobody has inspiration, I believe.
And before we get into this wonderful roleplay, Dragon War Orbs. For you, Isaac.
Dragon?
Saw it.
Saw it, dude.
That was like the epic trailer voice. I've never heard you do that one. I really like that.
Tried.
Alright, okay, so that...
We got 2 ones in a row in the chat.
Dang.
Nice.
I sympathize.
I thought we had...
Oh my gosh, them nat ones. Y'all should really put those in dice jail.
I made us a dice jail and I forgot to bring it today. But I made us an actual Legendary Action official little dice jail for the table that I have to bring by.
I love it.
So.
Matt, never mind.
Okay. That's why.
Well, they're just gonna eat all my dice.
Well, no, not all of them, because you do roll good. It's just certain times it's just not your favorite.
Well, and you can't put digital dice in it, so
That's true.
Yeah, those are the ones that suck.
I kind of separated into that because I lost my dice. I don't know where they are.
well,
It's almost like we have a...
That's probably bad luck or something.
Yeah,
probably.
probably.
we have
According to
dice.
somebody.
Dice.
I don't know. I swear they were in my bag. They're just not there anymore.
if only you knew someone that could make you a custom set of dice.
Do I know someone like that?
Yes.
Really?
I don't know anybody like that.
Oh my gosh, you have dice.
Oh, no, I
Dice.
I have the digitals.
You have dice?
Hey, man.
Yeah, but see,
I
I
rolled-
can't see what you roll
I
when you
rolled
roll
bad.
digitally. That's
I'm not talking about you rolling bad. I'm just saying
That's
juju-wise.
I
Those are
need more
neat.
dice because I got this big old bag and it's not even half full.
The goal is to fill it.
Yes.
So,
Are they sorted by type?
They are. They have 7 pockets. So there's a pocket for
You
each
have
one.
that many dice of different
That's-
types?
okay.
Wow.
Windows, you
That's
are
awesome.
a
That's so
problem.
cool.
That's fantastic.
My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. My laptop
Lord.
Windows is being a real problem right now.
Yes.
Like it always is.
Did Clippy pop
So-
up and everything? I see you're trying to run a D&D stream.
There is a wonderful
Yeah.
thing while he's setting everything up. People, do me a favor and go where did he post the pictures?
For what?
For Azig's wonderful, most badass,
It's in-
hand-built and crafted
Should be in art.
table.
Should be in the Hall of Art, and it should have been posted in the main hall as well.
Cool.
Yep.
This thing is badass.
It's so cool. Like,
very
you need to
He
check it
hand
out
built
right
it with
now.
a velvet inlay. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be putting LEDs inside
He
too
is,
to glow
yes.
that bitch up.
Yep.
It's covered in dice that swirl around a big D20. Is cool.
RGB, of course.
Yeah,
It makes it look bad.
He's gonna put RGB in it, and like the glass top pops out, so you can just reach inside and grab a handful of dice whenever you need them. But they look so pretty, I couldn't bring myself to grab them because they're swirled by color and everything. So I feel really bad taking them out, but you can if you want. So it's a really neat table.
I want to have one of
It
those
also
tables
means you
with like
can
the
never move
TV
that
embedded
table.
in it to put battle maps and stuff
Yes.
on.
Yeah,
My
pretty neat.
dream is, one day build my own house and have a secret room in
For
the house,
D&D?
like behind a bookshelf
Yes.
or something, and it's just a D&D room.
that'd be great.
That's my
Over
dream.
there, man.
That's my
That
dream.
is
Just
that,
playing
that
D&D.
is a worthy dream.
That is good. A literal
Well,
dungeon for
what
your
I-
dungeons.
Yes, I want a literal dungeon.
what I've been researching that I
You
want to
should
get.
go about getting it contracted in a really weird way with the contractors. You're like, so do you think people walking by will be able to hear what happens in here?
How
You know?
soundproof can this be?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you building again? See, I really
A
want the
dungeon.
projector
Make it-
set up now because now people are putting that all over the internet where you just get like $100 projector and suspend it up from the ceiling.
That would be very
And then do
cool
you
also.
project like the dynamic maps and stuff? Like either way, like it's the next level of D&D.
That and the TV on the table.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that is one way to run the game if you're not a dungeon master who is a crafting dungeon master, because
Yeah.
then there's no point.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you're a crafting dungeon master like I am, where you prefer to have the physical models on the table, physical stuff, and not just... Now, I do like the blend of like digital with physical miniatures, like on the grids and stuff.
No, I like that too, yeah.
But like just tokens and stuff on the table is my thing. I would consider doing like a digital screen that maybe is in the table.
Mhm.
So, because there are some really cool animated like battle maps and
All
stuff
the
that
Patreons that are out there now for the people that do them, where you have like you have day mode, night mode, you have animals going through them and stuff. Like I think hybrid is probably the best, where you do have like you have the digital projection and then you actually put some terrain and minis on it. And it's great when you're just doing like a one shot and you don't want to build terrain for a one shot.
Yes,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
I gotcha.
So-
I get it. It'd actually be really cool, especially if it was something that you didn't have to have all the time, like maybe that you could cover.
Like it
take
had a
out or something.
sunroof kind of cover that you
Yeah.
could pull
Yeah.
over it, and you
Yeah.
just had a normal table also.
It's any kind of tools that you can use as a DM to make running your game easier
Totally.
is fine by me. Everybody has their own like tastes and stuff as well, so I totally get that. But that's not what we have here. So let's continue on. So all the council members kind of get up and begin. So most of them who have multiple representatives begin discussion amongst themselves, and they kind of separate into their own little spaces. Some of the factions, like the Steel Confederacy, the two dwarves basically kind of get up and just they just leave the room. They're on their way. They already said their piece and made their decision as far as they're concerned. A few of the like more quieter members that didn't really speak up from like White Court, Fallmen, they all kind of just split off. The Banner Alliance had a lot of representatives as a part of it. Mainly it's Westguard, Rivergate's representatives. They're kind of in the room and they're having kind of a heated discussion. It's almost like it picked right back up where it was when you first came into the room. Ilyana, Novar, and Elashnorr are having a discussion amongst themselves. The dragon orbs seem to be the main topic there of discussion. Ilyana seems kind of perturbed that Novar like showed up the way he did to like bring them out. It's like he was expected to be there and he was just late, but she's basically scolding him. It's like, you should not have said that to everybody. Like, we could have approached individuals specifically and had this conversation. And it's just rolling along those lines. Meanwhile, you're all kind of just standing there and amongst yourselves. So that's where we pick up the scene.
And are Godric and Locke back inside at this point?
Yeah, they came back inside. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I think we ended up with one of the best resolutions that we could have.
It still feels unsatisfying. Or I suppose the piece that feels unsatisfying to me is that we still don't really know what happened. We got I don't know about the rest of you, but my head's still spinning, and we just got thrown back into this after months in hell.
I agree. I would very much like to know what happened.
I mean, now that we have time to talk for a few minutes, is there anything you can do? Is there anything, Locke, that you can do with your magic? Is there anything hope that we have of recovering these memories?
Reach over and just kind of start playing with the gray hair that's now on my head. That I'm still confused as why it's there.
I have nothing.
I do not have magic to read your subconscious. I can read the conscious thoughts of individuals, but not those that are hidden.
Maybe that these memories are best left alone.
Left alone?
No.
Aren't you curious? We don't have everyone with us that was with us when we went into fight. We have to know what happened to him. I mean, maybe not read subconscious, but is there healing magic? Is there... The magic that I studied for years didn't encompass this sort of thing, but there has to be something, right? Especially with all these powerful people here.
We need an enchanter of some sort, most likely.
Is there something they can do?
They specialize in the mind, but that's not magic I study.
Maybe Ileana or someone here would know. It feels like we're in the presence of so many powerful people.
And if they themselves are not able to do this task, they must know someone who does.
I think so.
You could always ask.
Do you really not want to know?
We must know. What we want is irrelevant.
It is. I want to know. That is true. But there's a lot of people in this room. Maybe those of you that are good at talking should talk to them.
Ileana and Novar are still here.
Ilyana, Novar, and Elashnor are still having a conversation amongst themselves.
Cannot hurt to ask. I will go walk to Ileana and Novar.
I'll follow along with Katerina.
Okay. So as you approach, you see that Novar kind of just streamlines out, and Elashnor kind of follows after him, and Ilyana turns to you. And how may I help you?
We have a question about brains and memories, and we want to know if you can at least put us in the right direction. Our memories are still gone, and they're not returning, at least not right now. Can you help?
Unfortunately, no.
Is there hope for our memories at all?
There is hope that, one, over time, they will return to you. Slowly but surely, they should filter in. From what we can tell, it seems as though a very powerful ward was cast over your minds, more than likely an attempt to protect yourselves from whatever it is that you experienced when you were in Avernus.
You mean that we casted the ward?
It's a possibility. Either you cast it on yourselves, or it was done unto you on your behalf.
Huh.
There is the option of using possibly druidic or divine magic that may undo the damage, but using arcane means, there's nothing that I believe that I am capable of doing. It may be a spell or some sort of enchantment that requires knowledge of the words used or the techniques used to cast it to undo the binding magic.
Do you know of anyone that might be here or nearby that we could speak to about it?
I do believe that if you are looking for information as to where you might be able to find said services from either a druid or a cleric, somebody with that kind of knowledge or power, someone who can look into what the affliction is and and possibly undo it, then maybe going to the Truth Seekers and seeking out their representatives. Maybe they have a contact or know of someone who specializes in such enchantments. With the vast network of spies and spread throughout Terrowyn, I'm sure that they might have somebody.
I just cannot help but dwell on the fact that 2 people who were with us there did not come back out.
I wouldn't have thought that we would have left them, no matter the cost.
I know that I would not.
I would not either. Godric and Locke wouldn't either, so it has to be... There's got to be something that we don't understand.
So the memory loss is a confusing aspect of what happened. We contacted you all directly to get you to the point where we could find you and pull you out of Avernus.
You did? You spoke to us?
We did.
Were you able to glean anything about the events that happened through those conversations with us?
The only information that we were able to glean from the entire event was that you were hurried. You were in trouble. You were being pursued. Outside of this, we told you to take the river Styx to the highest point, the furthest point, towards the gates that leave Avernus, and that is where we pulled you out at a specified time, using a locate spell, which allowed us to connect you to the portal in Ilithir.
Do you remember us telling you anything about who was with us? Did we tell you we had companions injured, killed?
There was no time.
So, for all we know, it happened before we were able to make contact with them at all.
Could have been. They were roughed up from the fight, but I didn't think that badly. Regardless, we might not know for a while.
I truly do feel for you. We expected everyone. Lumi herself was extraordinarily distraught when she came to me before you came into the chamber, worried about what had happened, whether or not there was something else that could be done. She did much on our behalf and on your behalf to make sure that you could be retrieved.
Well, then for her sake, I hope that we can give her some kind of closure as well, in knowing what happened. Thank you for your information.
You're most welcome.
And for everything you've done for us.
It wasn't necessarily altruistic. We did need you. We needed your information. The memory block was an unforeseen circumstance. It changed the way that we could approach the council. We had hoped that you would come with more information. Maybe had learned with all your time in Avernus what the connection was and what Kesis' status was in her prison. Whether or not she was still there, as she was dwelling in the same plane that you were on. And as far as we're aware, she's still there.
One can only hope.
I hope we recover these answers before it's too late, if we have them at all.
Only time will tell. We shall work on finding first if somebody even has the knowledge or capabilities to undo whatever has happened.
Yes.
The protective enchantment that's locking your memories behind is extremely intricate and difficult to deal with.
Would I know if magic like that is outside of the expertise of any of us?
You make an Arcana check.
Oh, that's pretty good. 23.
It's not outside of the capabilities. It's just a matter. It's a matter of what the enchantment is and what spell was cast. You're perfectly capable of casting said spell if you had the time and knowledge, and so is Soyasa, and so is Locke. All three of you are more than capable of casting an enchantment like this. To the degree and strength of which Ilyana is letting on, maybe it was somebody who was more powerful than you. Since she seems to not even be really convinced that they can, like, all the her knowledge and work can even really undo it. Yeah, it would more than likely have to be someone who practices divine magic.
That brings me to another question. How long do we have here? Or can we stay until we eventually head out? Did you plan to head back to your tower?
I had planned to head back to the tower. I do have matters to attend there. I do not want to leave Kavira alone and in charge of such operations of such magnitude. She's a misguided and still youthful elf and prone to... She hasn't learned how to apply the wisdom that she's accrued since I've been gone, which is a failing on my part. But the two portals, the two teleportation circles which connect these elven cities can transport you instantaneously at any time between them. We are working currently to unlock and open up more of the teleportation circles, and maybe even some of the Fey Gates, which is where most of my concern currently lies, is locating them. Through arduous research and delving into many, many, many stacks and layers of tomes and books.
It will be easier to quell fighting across the Shattered Coast if we can travel quickly.
Having those reactivated would be wonderful.
I agree, and most of the other wizards of the Azure Tower and many of the other circles here on the Shattered Coast would tend to agree.
Is there a circle like that in Lior that we will be able to use, or will we have to get through there through less direct means?
Novar's currently working on that exact issue. They do, in fact, have a teleportation circle. The question is whether or not he can reactivate it remotely from this far away, as they did unfortunately have to close it to make sure that the dragon orbs were as secure as possible upon fleeing.
Well, thank you again. And the Truth Seekers are in Alaska?
Yeah, you met their representative, Laura Walker, Allison Westlake, was at the meeting. Yes.
What would be what's the closest civilization that might be represented in here to where I lived?
The nearest one?
Yeah.
Corral. No, Ilithir.
Ilithir? Okay.
Yeah. Kriot wasn't there and Ronheim wasn't there.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. I didn't know if Kriat...
And Katarina, did you want to go with me to the Truth Seekers and talk to them?
Yes, very much. I would like to get this sorted out as quickly as possible.
It seems like if we could even just get a sliver back, it would help make all of this easier.
I agree.
Can we spot the representative in the crowd pretty easily?
Yeah, she's there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. She's easy enough to spot. She's got, like, red hair, and she's wearing, like, leather pauldrons and this tight-fitting, like, bustier and leggings, and she's got daggers and stuff. She doesn't seem to have an instrument on her that would, of any way that would, like, denote what she does as a bard, but she's easy enough to spot. Okay. She's kind of just minding her own business, and it seems like just standing alone. There was a gnat there. There was a gnat.
Sure there was.
There was a gnat.
Sure there was.
Is there again? Look at it. I'm not just making this shit up. I don't know. The game I'm making up.
I can't see anything. But...
You know.
No, Andy, the game's real.
I don't see a gnat, Andy. I just can't see it. Or
Dude,
you.
It is here, all right? I'm not crazy. I mean, a little bit. But
I'm not crazy.
I'm not crazy about this.
I'm not crazy, you're crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, she's standing there.
So we walk over.
Yes.
Walk over to her. I'm just gonna kind of walk up to her. Is she looking at us right now?
Yeah, she sees you coming and approaching, and she kind of stands up and leans, gets up from the column that she was leaning against, and she looks at you. And what can I do for you today?
I take a bit of a bow as I walk up, and
we have a question that it involves. We need help with memories.
Ileana had said that this might be an issue. So, as a matter of fact, we have started working towards finding some sort of a cure. Figuring out what we can do.
Already?
Already.
That is comforting.
She neglected to mention that to us. But that's good news.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you into contact with one of our agents who's actually in charge of handling this at the moment.
Handling this type of magic or just handling our situation?
He's going to more or less think of him as your handler at the moment.
And what is his name?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Actually, hold on.
Yeah.
I might have it. Nope, that's not on this set of notes. I have to open the other one. I did not move that over. That's a problem.
Blame Windows.
I do blame Windows.
It's all Windows' fault. Do you hear the...
Meanwhile, while they walk into the crowd, I walk away from the crowd and go and find a nice, like a balcony or a garden or something to go.
Yeah, there's a nice walking garden nearby.
Looking around, seeing them walk towards the crowd and seeing Locke walk away, I sigh and walk after Locke as well.
So I just go over to a plant. It's a flower, and I kind of take a look at it, just kind of inspecting it, just in my own head, thinking.
Now that you have had time to calm down, it's funny coming from me. How are you? How are you holding up? This is one of the more rougher things that we have been through.
This mistake will be a scar on my life forever.
I'm gonna reach up and just kind of pat your shoulder. It is not a mistake. If I swing a blade at somebody and they move, is it my mistake for swinging or theirs for moving? As you said, the magic worked. You worked it. It was there, but it just did not work. That means that you did not make a mistake. This is something you can learn from, yes, but don't beat yourself up. Speaking of that, I have inspected myself. How are you? Are you working? Is there anything not working?
The blade in my arm is jammed. I pull up my sleeve and there's like a big ass dent.
Bring out my tools. Please.
I left my bag in the room.
So at that, I start inspecting the dent to see how it is and see if there's any point where I can like reach my finger in and try to like pop the dent out.
Okay.
Even just for a moment, just to pry it out so it can work temporarily until I get the tools necessary to fix it better. Or do I feel like that's something I shouldn't do?
It's not something that you shouldn't do necessarily, but it won't necessarily bring you in any sort of effect that you're looking for, probably working with it with your bare hands.
I will not be able to fix it now. We'll probably have to do it when we have a bit more time. When it comes to these, the interworkings have always been a pain. And I've never been one for patience.
I'm more curious what could have done that. I've been hit by some powerful blows.
We both have. I am curious what went on. I really am. I'm curious why we left people behind. But I am not trying to let it weigh too heavily.
Why not?
Because, for the first time in a long time, my goal is in sight. I can begin looking towards the future. All it needs now is for us to kill a dragon. That is my goal. It has always been my goal.
What? Hargraves
Yes. That
and Brittle.
brittle.
Two lives. I just know that they would have made it if I hadn't.
I'm gonna reach up and just poke you on the top of your head, not hard, just kind of push your head.
Stop it. You're beating yourself up. That is my job. Just like it is my job to get angry. When you are mad at the wizards, I've only ever seen you like that once.
Well, they deserve our contempt.
Maybe. Who are we to judge? I understand your frustrations more than most. I really do. But to speak of genocide against the whole race, even that is a bit far.
Yes, it is. But I still feel like we should use the weapons.
We will have time to discuss it, of course. It seems that the party in there is getting a little rowdy. But I agree. The tensions were high, everyone was screaming and yelling, and it took everything I had to reel my emotions in. Either way, I feel that we are alive, some of us. Others we do not know. I know that I don't believe we left them. Wait. I feel that many things have changed. The world has changed. We must adapt. They are discussing how to get our memories back. And I feel that we should definitely find out what happened in the world. 7 months is a long time. Even more when now that dragons are running around. I don't know about you, or anyone else in there, but I can say with a surety that we are not ready for an adult dragon. As much as I want to go fight one, as much as it would bring me to completion, we can't do it yet. When I set out on this journey, so long ago, it was to find people like us. Because even I know I can't do it alone. Don't forget that. This is not just a failure for you. It is a failure, if it is one, on all of us. There's so many things we could have done better, but we cannot. So we must look past it, and instead of say what could we have done, what can we do now?
You're right.
To dwell on the past, unless it's to find your history.
No. I was selfish, like the other wizards, looking for answers that I wanted. But you're right. If I don't want to be them, then I have to do things differently. I think it's time I found an apprentice.
I thought I was your apprentice. Have you been lying to me?
No, but you're terrible at magic.
I could never cast it even if I wanted to, and you know this. I think having someone to learn from you might help you. I'm not good at emotions as much as the next. Maybe there's something to think about for the future. We do have a world to save first.
We'll keep an eye out.
We'll only see. Maybe we... That is if we live through it. You never know.
Well, we made it through hell.
That is true. But hell is no dragon fire.
It's almost literally dragon fire.
When I remember going into the portal, it was toasty in there. It was warm. It was pleasant.
There was lava.
That is not dragon fire.
Well,
I've only heard stories about how it melts stone.
well, we saw him. You remember Soyas's?
That was more of an explosion, and she is like a baby dragon.
That attack was not from a baby.
When I saw her breathe fire, that is
It
what
was acid. Like a dragon.
Man, you expect a lot more from the guy who hunts the dragon.
I have memory moments. Leave me alone. When she breathed acid, I imagine dragons have probably bigger breaths.
That was about as large as they come.
Well, then I can say even with more certainty that I don't want to be hit by that. None of us do. We would die. Probably very quickly.
You know, I've never actually tested my body against acids.
You got dented. I can only imagine that you would melt.
An experiment for later. It's a good thing I don't feel pain, really.
Enough. We should head back inside and find those two. See if they've found anything.
I think I'll sit here. The fresh air does me good.
Of course. Enjoy.
I don't breathe.
Oxidizing.
I will go and make sure they don't piss anyone off like other people.
I am going to sit here and think.
Just if any wizards say hello, don't zap them, please. I may be able to take a zap. By the way, that was... I felt like you were going for something more... That hurt, by the way.
I may have thought about it.
Okay. Enough. I probably deserved it, truthfully. But... Oh, I will touch you less when you are angry. You seem to get rather explosive. You've been learning from me too much. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be the calculated one. I'm supposed to get angry. If you want to be angry at someone, tell me I will be angry for you.
Well, fine.
Let us go make sure that the other two don't get into too much trouble. If you need anything, just scream. I will come running.
I'm sure you'll hear the explosions.
I usually do. I'll head back inside, looking for Soyasa and Katrina.
Okay. So, God. Fuck you, Windows.
Damn it! I gave you so much time.
Here we go. Okay. I hit scroll for a second and it stopped. It was just like, no, you're gonna scroll the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, computer.
Sounds good.
Okay, I feel like I'm saying okay, boomer. It's like okay, computer.
Thank you, Dodo, for the 1100 bits. And,
Thank you so much, and for taking that. That's in first place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Raid?
hey, and we got a raid! We got
got
raids!
raid?
We got raided by the wonderful, legendary, awesome, wonderful people at Manapod Studios!
Manapod
Studios.
Studios.
Oh my God! Welcome
JT
back.
Stark was up in this biatch!
It's been a minute. I feel like it's been a minute since we've seen you, but everybody, make sure our mods get a great, awesome little shout out from Nanopod Studios. We're so happy that you could be here and hang out with us. We just got done with a very
Wait.
touching moment with Godric and
I must
Locke.
consult with a kobold.
Yeah.
Both of them also have inspiration.
Oh,
Oh,
both of them?
nice.
Oh, you both have
Entry
inspiration.
view!
I like being inspired.
You got inspiration
Cheerful.
from Jammer
Thank you.
and Godric got
Creefu.
inspiration from
Creefu, thank
Hinge.
you.
Was it
I'm
Lickin'
not good
or
at foreign-
was it the lucky number?
pronunciations
No,
of
neither
words,
of them were the
so-
lucky number.
He's been here a
Lucky
bunch
number
times.
has not
I'll hit
been
him
got
later for
yet,
you.
as
Okay.
far as I know.
Hey,
If I
okay.
missed it, let me
Thank
know.
you so
But
much
I
for
don't think the
bringing the
lucky
raid
number
though.
is
Welcome
that.
everybody to Legendary Action Raiders. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons. We're playing in a homebrew setting. It's 5e, and we're just getting ready to pick up back here in another little scene. So thank you so much for raiding, and feel free to jump in, ask some questions, hit up our mods, find out what's going on, and everybody be nice. Be nice to the raiders. Okay. All right, if they didn't raid us with fireballs, it's okay. We're good. So, the bard,
But he was talking to me for a
Allison.
second. I was like,
Yeah. So the bard. So Allison.
He's dead.
You should be able to find. Trin Twilight at the Dark Leaf Tavern.
Is this a tavern nearby? I'm unfamiliar with it, the area.
Yeah, it's within walking distance. Should just take you a matter of a couple of minutes and crossing one of the bridges back across the Severn.
And he's been briefed with our odd circumstances?
Yes, he has been. He's been informed.
Oh, thank you. That's more than we expected.
Yes.
And he doesn't listen now. It's gonna take us some time to figure
Yes.
all this out. But with some ingenuity and some luck on our side, we should be able to track down and find a subject matter expert in dealing with your special circumstance.
That gives me a bit of hope.
We greatly appreciate the effort. Allison, correct?
Allison Westlake, yes?
Katerina Greycastle.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
We've heard all about you and your exploits at Rivergate. I'm quite impressed.
They're already telling people? I guess time has passed, hasn't it?
It sure has. Certainly not what I expected when I left home, but
Nor I.
Well, the Bard Casey has had nothing but good things to say about you. She said you were a great assistance in dealing with the avenging of a close personal friend who had fallen, and the removal of an especially dangerous creature from beneath Rivergate and its ruins.
Did they mention anything about us turning into cats?
No, I don't believe that was mentioned.
Brilliant. Then they're telling good stories about us.
All stories are good stories.
much more heroic that way.
Much
I
more.
think.
Yes.
Well,
I
thank
mean, you
you.
know us bards, we love our good stories. Our acting and our music, everything. I myself am sustained completely on applause. So,
Well, thank you again so much for your help. We'll have to seek him out immediately. We appreciate it. And so he also
Best
gives
of
a
luck.
little.
thank you, she bowed. The big smile, and then, if you don't mind, I have other business to attend to. I must inform the
course.
other lore walkers and spread the decision that we came to here.
I hope that our paths cross again.
I'm sure that they will. In the coming months and days leading up to what I'm assured is escalating conflict. We'll all need heroes and other friends to lean on in these trying times. Well, best of luck.
Good day.
And to you.
Good day. She is in the room.
Well, that's way more than she let on that she knew about. I think she sent us over here knowing that we'd be redirected to the tavern.
Yes, we're learning a lot of things here that she did not tell us before we arrived.
I spent my time in many a circle and around many spellcasters. Is it your experience too that they all like to keep things to themselves and play tricks like this? Hiding of informations?
Well, the majority of my experiences with my father, I didn't get out much before. Not long before I met you, actually.
Really?
He was very secretive. I cannot speak to all wizards, but he had a laboratory that I picture was amazing, but I was actually never allowed inside.
Magical laboratory?
I think so. He's quite a powerful wizard. He's very good.
So you're telling me that you barely left home and your first adventure landed you with these lot and into hell itself?
Yeah, that is the short story of
Poor
it.
thing. I thought you were... I apologize. Maybe it's not something to apologize about. I thought you were a well-traveled sorcerer at this point.
Well researched, but not well traveled in the slightest.
Well, I think the research makes up for any lack of travel because you've handled yourself. In the battles that we fought together, I thought this was your everyday.
I have read many books about the adventures of heroes, and I mostly try to emulate what I have read.
Well, I think it's paying off for you, so...
Thank you.
And
That is nice to hear.
hopefully the next leg of whatever this crazy trip we're going on is not hell. So maybe less. Well, no, the stakes are even higher now. But maybe we'll have a break in between.
Maybe someone will write a book about us that someone else will read someday.
Maybe when she was talking, I actually yearn to hear a song from a bard again. It feels like it's been a long time since I've sat down and just had a drink and relaxed.
I did spend some time with the gnomes of Belindel, and they could certainly party.
Gnomes, the tiny ones?
Yes.
I've never actually, I don't think I've seen up close anyway. I don't think I've ever seen one.
They are an absolute delight.
We could use more delights in days like these.
Agreed.
Well, there's that tavern that she mentioned with Trin.
Yes,
Should
the
we
Darkleaf Tavern.
Yeah, should we get Godric and Locke and maybe go get a drink and see if we can have a few moments of peace?
I think that sounds wonderful.
Let's do that then.
And do we see Godric walking towards us at any point?
I'm walking up now. Oh. Yeah.
I know
He
exactly.
needs them
I know
to
exactly
see.
how
I
that
do.
feels.
Oh, God. Trying to go a day work without the. Also, we have inspiration, by the way.
Yeah, we covered it.
Yeah, we covered it.
Yeah.
You were involved in emotional roleplay. It's okay. It's cool.
Alright. Got to cross up to you now. Confused. Yeah, so I come up approaching. Did you learn anything else?
Yes, we learned that the Truth Seekers are currently working on a way to help us get our memories back.
They've been very busy, apparently.
It feels like everyone's been busy. It makes me wonder what has changed since we've been gone.
Well, that's the thing. We haven't even been told the full story yet. Ileana told us that they spoke to us when we were in hell.
So that means that we lost our memories on the way out or close to it.
It sounds like it was intentional on our part, perhaps. We could have even cast the spell.
Well then, all we can really do is try to find out.
Where did Locke go?
He is...
Did he zap you again?
No, and I did deserve that, but he is calming down.
What?
He's always enjoyed taking time in the wild. He likes nature. That is his calming place.
Well, speaking of commonplace, there's a tavern nearby. It might not be full of nature, but we have a lead on someone that's going to help us, possibly with our memories. Could we interest you and him in a drink?
It would be a good place to ask around, find out what has happened in 7 months.
I didn't think about that. Rumors. They're telling stories about us, apparently, and the Battle of Rivergate already.
It's about time. We have done many heroic things. It's only about time before they start singing songs about us.
Maybe you're used to having songs sung about you, but...
The only songs that I have sung about me are the ones that they gurgle about as they die.
That's pretty cool.
Don't stoke his ego too much, but I agree, yes.
But, is the Rivergate party still here?
Like the representatives? No. During all this in-between time, most of all the representatives and their or the delegations have basically kind of filtered out. So you're really the only ones left standing, like near the council chamber at this point.
Well then, let us go pick up Locke. Instruct him that we are going to the tavern. No picking up anymore. And then we can go from there.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we'll go find Locke and then head to the Darkleaf Tavern.
Okay.
Is Locke gonna be interested in going to the tavern though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is time to mingle.
Okay. Sure.
I'm unfamiliar with your kind. Do you imbibe? Can you imbibe alcohol?
Nope.
What is imbibe?
Drink. It's a fancy word. We've gone over it.
I do not think we have.
It's a very common word.
For who?
Learned folk. You are learning.
I'm certain I've used that word around you.
You If you have it as when I was...
Imbibing. Too much.
That means that I was drunk?
Yeah.
And I would not have remembered.
Yeah. That seems... Yeah. Those pieces fit.
Well then, let us go. We have no money.
Oh, we lost all of our money too?
I keep forgetting that we don't have anything
I would like
besides
to
our
look
weapons
around.
and armor.
Do I have a coin purse at all on me?
Yeah.
Okay, so the
Oh,
coin
is
purse.
there? Okay.
You guys
We still have-
okay.
you guys have your wealth.
Oh, okay.
Okay, fuck it. Except the wealth that was
It
in the bag
seems
holding.
whatever
And the bag
disappeared
of
was basically no. You don't have that.
holding. Yeah.
That's gone.
So all the wealth that we put in this, and the party fund's gone, but our personal wealth is here.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so much money in the party fund.
So much gold.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So what do you do for pleasure then? If you can't drink.
He likes to watch.
What? No, he's making that sound.
Incredibly. Yes.
Yeah. I observe the connections.
Patrick just starts laughing so hard. No, sorry, I begin laughing very hard.
No, I mean,
I do not understand the joke.
conversation and learning, you know? Those are things that I enjoy.
I'm making a joke. He likes to watch people interact. He likes to see emotion.
Oh, so you like watching them imbibe.
I do.
And seeing them be silly as you are very observant in the background.
Eating is so disgusting.
I couldn't live without it. It's so good.
But it's so just squishy.
But
And
that's part of the fun, is the texture and the juices, and I'm hungry.
and the excretions.
What's wrong with excretions?
They're everywhere. It's all the time.
I'm gonna.
You're sweating, you're crying, you're... it's fascinating, but in a morbid sort of way.
Let's talk about this over a drink then. See if we can find this tavern.
Lucky number got hit. Jam, who are you giving inspiration to? I need to break the. Ooh. I had to bite my tongue
Breathe.
a few times.
Breathe.
there.
Breathe. Breathe.
So you make your way through the crowded streets, past the basically the merchant district, and find your way to the outside of a large structure that's kind of built into the side of this this very old oak tree. It's really tall. You can see above is multiple stories and the interconnecting bridges that the elves had built to help them stay like off the ground and out of the way of the other races that come and trade in Alaska. There's music playing, and it sounds like it's a busy and popular tavern. There's a group of elves and some halflings that you pass on the way inside. When you step inside, it's a beautifully crafted interior with staircases that go up circularly towards what seems like it's the top of this tree. It's mostly hollow. There's several tables and chairs on the inside, and there seems like there's about 15 to 20 patrons who are all kind of gathered around watching this individual play, which is very interesting. Got this like guitar and is playing this really fun song and is like dancing and singing, but it's a strange sight because it seems to match what you would expect from a lore walker, but you never expected to see a goblin like this. So you want to introduce your character, Alex?
It's Alex! He's not! I didn't expect this! I didn't know! Oh, jeez!
He's a bird! He's a bird! It's a goblin bird!
I may be a goblin
My
bard!
dreams
has
have been
a deck.
filled.
Wait, really?
I may be a goblin bard.
I need to express that.
Or I may be introducing the character watching the goblin bard named Mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
An angry, drunken barbarian who lost his family to the cult of domination. That's not it. So, you see... Give me my cards. You see on stage...
I was snooping.
Nope. You see on stage a goblin that's about 3'4", but dressed very finely in silks with blue silk pants, a purple jacket, and then you notice it doesn't quite match up because he has fingerless gloves that are like shimmering metallic, as well as spiked wristbands and spiky shoulder pads that he's haphazardly sewn onto this magnificent cloak that he wears over his back. And then across his chest, you see a beautiful necklace with multiple gemstones hanging off of it against a vibrant lavender shirt. And he has green skin, because he's a goblin. He has green skin, and his hair is very well styled. He has a goatee, and his head is half shaved, and his hair is black, and the remaining hair is styled and layered over the side, and it's very well put together. Takes a lot of pride in his appearance as he sits up there playing his dandy song.
That
Curious.
that bard is.
So the crowd seems extraordinarily entertained, and they're loving it and watching it, and they're like throwing like coins at him and stuff, and he's just going on about his business and singing his music. The bar seems very lively. An elven barmaid comes up to you, and she approaches you. Hold on. So she approaches you real quick and almost in a very hurried and hectic manner. What can I get you? What are you looking for? You looking for rooms or eat, drink? We're very busy.
Eat and drink.
Eat and drink? I can find you a table.
Please.
Right over there. Follow me for a moment.
We'll follow after.
She follows you over and she sits you down. There's enough room for, barely enough room to hold the Goliath, but you all make do with the space.
I'm gonna pull out like a little journal that I have. It's like leather bound, and I'm gonna start just writing notes about the goblin because I've never seen one before. Ooh. So I'm writing notes about his nice hair. I'm like, oh, goblins are fabulous.
Great personal grooming.
This is not like what I have read about them.
Gnome's gotta check some privileges.
Well, the first round's on me for everything we've been through, so please order whatever you want.
Then
I especially owe you a few.
Just keep it coming. I will imagine I won't get to.
Be careful, he will drink you out of coin.
I think that after surviving hell, we can drink as much as we want.
Oh, you
There's
can.
only-
I'm just saying don't pay for all of it. Just a friendly warning.
He saved me in the battle more than once. He's earned it. Both of you have. All of you have.
I'll take the first 10. Then I will begin paying for myself.
So the barmaid's still standing there. So, drink orders then.
Oh, so sorry.
We have a wonderful, wonderful Fey wine, white wine, Desert Star wine that comes all the way from the Sudanese Sultanate. And we have locally made fine elven wine as well. And food-wise, we have onion soup and cheese on the side, as well as roasted wild boar. And we also have some rabbit stew, crackers. So what shall I be getting you?
Give us one of everything for the food.
And then I will.
One of everything for the food.
Yes.
So one of everything per, or just one of each?
One of each
order?
dish for the table, please.
Okay.
And then I will take 2 more helpings of the boar, and then you see him counting on his fingers. I begin counting on my fingers. 4 glasses of the elven wine, and then whatever they want to drink.
Do you have ale by chance, or is it just the wine?
What are you looking for? We have a spiced ale, we have king's ale, dwarven ale. We can get just about anything that you would like.
I thought they'd only have.
If you're looking for something a little bit stronger, we do have some trollbane ale as well.
You see, God,
Yes.
God damn it! I get very excited and start beginning hitting the table.
Yeah, stop hitting the table.
Stop. Never mind. One of those instead of the whites
See, I know I liked you for a reason.
in the big glass.
Yes, 2 of those, please. What about you, Katarina?
The elven wine sounds lovely.
Okay. Okay. All right. So all in all, we're looking at about 25 silver pieces for everything.
So I'm just going to fish into my leather purse and pull out a pile of silver with the clawed hand and just hand it out.
All right. So she takes it, kind of does a brief little count or whatever, puts it into one of the pouches on her dress. And she she moves on and turns around. I'm looking forward to bringing you your food. Have fun and enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the entertainment. And she just leaves.
I think I've realized how hungry and thirsty I am. That goblin's actually killing it.
He's quite good.
This is probably one of the best performances I've seen. Well, not drunk.
Looking at the goblin, do we see markings at all of the truth seekers on the goblin?
So the truth seekers themselves don't actually have an emblem in order to make sure that their work can go uninterrupted,
Okay.
technically. But all lore walkers have a pair of silver pipes that they basically have on display somewhere on their collars.
Okay.
So you can make a perception check if you want.
Do that.
Really high!
21.
21?
Yes.
Yes, you do see he has on his lapel, he has a set of very ornate and well-made silver pipes.
And would I have seen a matching pair earlier when we were talking to her?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you see the little bit of glimmering off his neck, the pipes?
Yes, I see.
Does that mean he's the contact that we're looking for?
So Allison had the same thing? Is
Yeah.
that where we saw it?
Yeah, Allison had the same thing.
I would imagine so. It seems to be the same emblem that Allison bore.
That's what I'm thinking. How are we gonna draw him away from the crowd at any point, though?
So, the elven servant girl comes back and she brings you a set of. She brings it over and she sets down a set of glasses, very ornate goblets, and she says, "The wine is here courtesy of the performer." And at the time, you look over and you see him. He gets up on stage and he looks over at you all and he casts you just a quick little wink. Yeah. So are these just fine putting here?
Yes.
She
thank
takes
you.
them off one at a time and sends them over to you. Make sure to give it a nice inhale and get all in preparation. Feel it. It's very. I think you're all going to enjoy it. And she just turns and leaves.
I'll raise my glass to the goblin as he looks over and give it a big whiff.
I've never actually had wine before, so
Snout flares, trying to. What's it smell like?
It's there's a lot. Let's see.
Chloroform.
Chloroform. Yeah.
Oh no!
It was a trap.
I can't smell. This time I really mean lightning bolt.
Lightning bolt right at you.
Oh, and the crowd is
That's just
screaming.
dramatic now for lightning bolt. All right, so you're picking up on a lot of very very earthy tones in the elven wine. A lot of it smells very regional, like you get the sense of like berry leaves that are local here to the region. Simply because of like what your snout is capable of like processing, there's just so many layers that you're breaking down. But since you've never had wine before, you're not really sure what to make of all these different things. You're pretty sure you might even smell like rose petals in there. Mm-hmm.
I'm just huffing this wine and eventually slowly stick the scaled snout into the glass, and the forked tongue goes out into the wine. Kind of like sampling it as she looks around.
It ale's more your jam, but you're not completely put off by
Did
it.
the ale get served
No,
too?
no.
It's not horrible.
I think it's lovely.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's interesting, that's for sure.
Not what you are used to, I presume?
No, I'm used to things punching you in the face a little bit more, but it's better than sulfur and brimstone, so it's great. It's wonderful.
And I just look at I look at Locke.
I am curious how you all did sustain yourself in hell. I don't imagine it's a good environment.
I know how I did.
So the song is kind of like reaching its plateau, and you guys have heard this. It's a fairly, I wouldn't say it's 100% like a very common song, but definitely in the western hemisphere of Terrowyn, it's pretty popular. It's called "Snuffed the Magic Dragon." So it's basically just a song about a terrorizing dragon in the country song, and a local hero who rises to the occasion, and the party gathers together a party, and they go to this castle, and it's this epic song about them like rescuing the maiden, and then the unlikely hero gets to it. It's all very standard. You've heard it before, but it's a very popular song, and it finally comes to an end, and everybody just claps, and everybody gets a standing ovation, just and everybody comes up. Someone comes up and hands it. This is all just so off-putting based on the package that this is coming from, but the song is so done beautifully, and it's in tune, and even throws in some different lyrics and changes up, which is very common for bardic interpretations of different music. And finally, everybody kind of gives him the space to move away from the performance stage.
So I slowly make my way, thanking the fans.
You see a couple of young girls just kind of like, oh, oh dear, the nobles.
Shaking babies.
He actually looks very handsome, and it doesn't look at all like the feral goblins that many of you have heard stories of, and it has a very mysterious sort of flavor to the clothing and additions that aren't necessarily 100% like common to the Shattered Coast.
So is he actually just a handsome goblin, like bone structure and everything, or is it like a lot of makeup and
no, he's
accessories?
handsome.
He's just handsome. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a handsome goblin.
Good genes. Good genes.
I wanted to know what it would feel like. Oh my god!
Much sadness.
Oh my god.
That's my kind of joke, bud.
Yeah, you're stepping on toes.
There is no self-deprecation at this table.
Oh no, I better go.
You gonna get out? Yeah,
Go on now.
Yeah, so I slowly make my way over to your table. As I walk up and I get closer, you notice that my eyes are actually deep purple with flecks of gold in it. It's very captivating.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then so I walk up to the side of your table, and I kind of like peer up and over at you, all of you as a group. Oh, well, it looks like you've been through hell. Well, pleasure to meet you. Trin Twilight, best friend you've never made.
I can get along by that. And I reach over my hand.
I put my little hand in your big hand.
And I just grab your whole arm.
Yeah.
Oh, easy there.
I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just... There wasn't much to grab.
Word on the street is your brain box ain't working so good.
I look at Locke. Brain box?
He means your head is hurt.
So now the food and drinks come at this time. Another server comes and helps her bring the rather large order together for you. Food smells fantastic. A couple of tastes of like the ale and the wine shows that it's of high quality and that you'll enjoy it.
I kind of do like, the dead fish handshake. Katarina Greycastle.
I take the dead fish hand and smooch.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Oh god. After pulling my snout out of the wine glass after the picture.
So Yasa, thank you for the drink. We appreciate it.
Oh yeah, it's the best stuff in the house as far as I'm concerned. That desert aroma, it really does the trick.
Is it dirt? Is that what it is?
Well, it's not dirt, it's a desert, It has some very wild flowers. It's actually a beautiful place once you get used to it.
You can say so.
What place is that?
The desert.
There are many of them.
There's a place, it's called a desert, where it doesn't really rain so much, so there's not so much in the way of plants. But when you find the oasis, one of the best places on Earth.
What is this earth?
Terrowyn. Best places on solid ground. You know what they say about the ground? It's always there to catch your fall.
I'm gonna.
I'd say it's more there to break your fall.
Potato.
No, I agree with the goblin. What's your name?
Trin Twilight.
I agree with Trin.
Twilight.
I agree with Trin.
It's a title.
You're getting Trin.
Respect the title. And the hair. Gotta respect the title and the hair.
You are, without question, the most unique goblin I've ever witnessed.
That sounds like a backhanded comment, but what's a little backhanded comment amongst friends, right?
This is like the only goblin I've been able to have a conversation with. Most don't make it that far.
Have you really tried?
You don't want to know the answer to that question.
I'm guessing no. I've seen your types before. I know how it goes. Better keep your hands to yourself. I'm not like those other goblins.
Oh, you're
Remember, goblins are people too.
Are you gonna join us for some of this drink and food?
Oh, I already started way before you got.
Well, if we have much to discuss, so squeeze in here with the rest of us.
Well, of course I'm gonna join you. It'd be really rude if I didn't.
Good. I'm gonna take my goblet and pass it to my tail, which is now waiting next to my head, so it wraps around and holds it, and then reach out and start distributing the food to everybody. So especially making sure like Katarina gets like a big plate of something, probably a big plate of the stew and crackers specifically.
Yes.
So tell me, now that you're out of hell, you got big plans?
I think we would like to know what our plans were previously before we make new plans.
Part of our big plan was coming to see you.
Oh, I'm on it.
We heard that you may be able to, or at least be studying to help us with our memory loss issue.
Well, I've been trying a couple things. I learned a new magic trick. That's right, I do magic. It's not just my music. But been hitting some brick walls, or trying it out on some brick walls. I'm not really sure, one way or the other.
Do you have people experiencing the same thing you're practicing it on?
Yes. If you drink too much of that, you'll have memory loss, right? It's the perfect place to practice.
That's not the same. I mean, you're the expert.
That's right, I'm a jack of all trades, some might say.
So what's the next step? Together.
Oh, that's a class feature, everyone.
He said the thing.
Roll credits.
Well, I'm still working on it, so, no one's gonna really miss like a dumb drunk if he loses his memories for a couple days when I screw up. Do you really want me poking around in there when I'm not ready yet? It's like art, it's like music, you gotta perfect it, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. I do not want to be a drunk that just disappears, so I do appreciate the
Well,
practice.
I don't mean dead. I mean just like gone for a couple days. Worry the family a little bit. Think maybe that fight you had before you went to go drinking, your wife thinks you left, and then you just show up a couple days later. It causes problems.
I would imagine so. So, how close would you say you are to being able to perform this type of magic that we're looking for?
Well, when you're talking about magic, especially the type I do, that's really a tough question. Like, how would you quantify how close I am? It's like, are you talking about 1 out of 100? It's one of those things I think where if I see it and I perfect it, then I'm gonna know. Is you can't rush these things.
I agree.
So days, weeks, months.
So many demands.
Just wondering. I mean, what?
It could be tomorrow. It could be the day after tomorrow. It could be a month from tomorrow. I'm really not sure.
So the ale came out with the food, right?
Yep, sure did.
At hearing that, I'm going to take one of the large ones that Godric and I ordered and slam a whole bunch of that amazing swill back, using the tail to take sips of the wine as a palate cleanser every so often.
Well, I could just give it a try, just see.
If you don't make my brain worse than it already is, then
No promises. That's how this works.
What the that is good ale.
Right?
What do you call them when you do things to
Side
me?
effects, ramifications.
But you say the
unforeseen
things that
consequences.
you say happy little accidents.
Oh, I like that. I'm gonna steal that. I mean, I'm gonna use that.
What can happen?
Well, when you're playing around with the mind, a lot of stuff can happen.
Can you turn someone into a cat accidentally?
Make an Arcana check.
I will make an Arcana check
Yeah.
and figure this out. See exactly where I'm at with all my Arcana. No.
I just can't handle the comment about your
Oh.
character. It's so good.
8.
What?
He's Sam Hager and Guy Fieri.
So I'm sorry, what?
8.
8.
8.
Super
Super
Sammy
Arcana.
Hager
Oh.
and Guy Fieri.
Okay, so
In one character. And
Now
it's
make a
gorgeous,
religion
and I love
check.
it.
Whoa. Oh, I need God to save you. Oh, jeez.
God isn't there.
God ain't dead.
Well, I mean,
God is dead. Man killed him.
Religion check. I got a 2 plus 3, so that's a 5.
Jack of all trades, my
If
ass.
you really,
Master of
think about
none.
it, that's only 15 away from 20.
Yeah,
That's what I like. To
I don't think about it that way.
I
So-
mean, that's pretty close when you put it that.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 15
When it's
away.
a scale of 1 to 20, that's
Yeah,
like
quarter away there. Don't make me
That's
turn this car
25%.
around.
So-
You know what I'm saying?
You were waiting to a degree to meet them in person so that you could actually attempt to manipulate the spell in their minds and see what was there, because based on the information that you got that the truth seekers and the lore walkers passed on to you from Ileana,
Yeah.
they weren't 100% sure whether or not the enchantment was arcane or whether or not it was divine. Upon using both of your working knowledge of kind of both spheres of magic, you've determined that it's a strange kind of pseudo blend of both, which you've never seen before.
oh, good.
It's risky business.
Again, what are we risking?
And if you don't turn me
It
into a
depends on how bad it goes. There's always a chance of it just being a little slap on the hand. You never wouldn't even think anything about it, but then playing a game of chance, stuff could go catastrophically wrong. Lose a bet, lose your house, kind of thing.
You could
know
tear
what I'm
out
saying?
everything that makes you you and destroy it.
that's just magic.
It's like he's a universal translator or something.
Thank you. I just wanted to know what the lose was.
The lose is not determined.
Then you need to try it on one of us, and as long as you don't turn me into a stinking cat and you don't send me to hell, I'm fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a volunteer.
I slam the rest of the tankard and put it back on the table.
I'm gonna try it on Soyasa.
I will observe
Yes.
and
You don't look too hard, you'll figure out my secrets.
Katarina,
Assist
can you
if
keep
I
a close
can.
eye on the magic he casts just in case it's something weird?
Of course.
He opened another book.
Oh, don't worry about what I'm doing over here.
They're always worried about what you're doing over there.
You shouldn't be. It's always good stuff.
So I stand
Occasionally
up.
bad.
I stand up.
Do I need to
very
do
rare.
anything special?
Just be yourself. You're special enough. As I put my foot on the stool and I look deep in your eyes and I start playing a little lullaby on my guitar. No words, just a guitar, a little lullaby. As I search for the magic
In me.
in me, and I use my magical spell.
Oh.
Do I have to roll? Does she have to roll?
I don't know. What spell do you have that can handle this?
Detect thoughts. I don't know. Detect thoughts. Hard. I'm gonna detect her thoughts so hard, you're gonna think of stuff.
It's like
that you
casting it
don't
at
know
a higher level.
about. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I totally expected something else. Detect thoughts. Aww.
Yeah, I expected.
Different kind of mindfuck going on here.
like,
I see what you did there.
well,
What do you have?
I have modify memory, detect thoughts, and I kind of want to. Can I use them in conjunction? Like,
Or are they first? What are they? Cantrips?
so I have a 5th level spell that's modify memory
Uh-huh.
that I could use.
Yeah.
But that's more for like implanting memories.
You let me decide how I think it works.
Okay. And so modify memory and using a blend of that and detect thoughts.
Okay. So explain to me the process of trying to.
Rejigger their brain.
Yeah.
So
Try to explain to me why you want to use, like, in what order you would use the spells and what the desired effect is.
I'm gonna use modify memory to open up their mind space and make it moldable and kind of loosen things up.
Okay.
To where stuff can move around.
Uh-huh.
And then I would like to use detect thoughts or that kind of magic, the detect thoughts magic, to once everything's loose, to penetrate the jelly that is their brain, to penetrate that jelly and detect thoughts and go deeper, and then pull those deep-seated jelly memories to the front, to where they're actually aware of them again.
Okay. All right, go ahead and cast the spells.
All right, I cast modify memory, which is a wisdom save, but I'm assuming you choose to fail.
Yes.
All right,
If I can.
and then
I think
I
you
will.
can. You can
Okay,
always
and-
choose to fail. You can always choose to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I choose to pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As suspicious
Could be
as
better,
I
but, you know.
am of this oddly charming bard, I will let it
Just
happen.
Just relax. Envision that your mind is loosening up. Your muscles are relaxed. Feel the alcohol coursing through your veins. Oh. You don't have to be made it out safe. You don't have to be guarded now. Just think back. But you're safe no matter what happens when you think back. Nothing can hurt you here. So it's okay. So think back to Rivergate. You went through a portal. And you were in hell. Things happen. Walk me through what happened. Walk through with your mind as we take a walk through the dreamscape that is your mind. And I cast Detect Thoughts to try and like follow her through and pull those memories back.
Okay. So there is a connection, and it does seem to get the desired effect for the first cast of the spell.
Okay.
Yeah, the one you've laid out.
So she starts remembering?
No. You just created the pathway, so now you need to cast the next spell.
Oh, now I detect thoughts.
Mhm.
I detect your thoughts with my detect thoughts, which is also a passive save. Or save.
So as you more or less begin to almost like mind meld with Soyasa. You start traveling through this random jumbling of memories. Childhood, time as a guard, you see her speaking to or observing a very powerful dragonborn, like wrapped in purple and gold robes, talking to what looks to be another dragonborn, an older dragonborn of like silver scales in like a large audience chamber. And then skipping past that, you see her traveling to and from her journey all the way from Emrath, the abandonment of many of her adornments of her that would identify her as a Praetorian guard. You start to feel the overwhelming emotional states that she's gone through these journeys, from anger to sadness when she gets rid of her belongings and her identifying markers and abandons the life that she used to have, all the way to getting captured by what looks like darkly robed figures in an alley. They come out of nowhere. You can feel like the strike and blow against her skull, and then you see her waking up in the tube. You see Katarina on the other side of it, and past that, the battle at Rivergate, and then the battle to Hizit, and then
stay with me.
Then you see a strange figure appear, and you don't recognize it. It looks like a little girl in a white dress. And then beyond that, there is a roar and a backlash, and you see only fragmented parts of battles, and then feelings of pain, loss, and experiences associated with possibly grievous bodily injury and harm. And then there is a set of... You see two strange, almost hounds with burning red eyes that look like they're on fire, and dripping like what looks like sparks and lava from their teeth and mouth, and they lash out to attack you, and you take...
Oh boy.
Oh boy. He's a bad one.
Oh my god, I'm a bard.
You take 15 psychic damage as you strike something, a memory, that they refuse to let you beyond, and you're kicked out of the trance and the spell.
As I'm getting kicked out, can I grab onto that dog memory and like bring it forward so she can see it?
Nope. You take the damage. There's a swelling pain inside your forehead that back runs all the way through your brain and trickles down into the rest of your body like a shock. The shocking effect of jumping into freezing cold water hits you like a wall, like a vehicle doing fucking 60.
As that happens, it just goes totally out to ring. It just like abruptly doesn't work as I stumble back off the stool. Oh.
Do I feel anything when that happens, or is it just kind of been like a trance for me?
No, it's been like a trance for you. Okay. You didn't experience or see any of that.
Yeah.
Damn it. Oh.
What happened? Did it work?
Oh, it was not nearly the same as when I tried it on the drunk guy.
Wait, so... what?
Oh, it's not there yet. It's a work in progress.
What did you see?
It's not a lot of stuff, but it was really hard to make sense of.
Well, maybe we can help you make sense of it. Maybe if you say anything, it might jog our memories a little bit.
I don't know. It seemed like it was really guarded. Like that was some pretty tough magic. I saw the Rivergate fight, and I saw you guys kick some fucking devil ass. But then there was a little girl, and then
In
running
Rivergate
and
there was a
pain.
girl?
Huh?
In Rivergate there was a girl?
No, like when you went through the portal, this seemed like you were trying to...
She was in hell?
Yeah, there was
In
a little...
Avernus?
It wasn't a little girl.
I don't know, maybe she was an evil little girl, and that's why she's in hell?
I do
It
not
was
recall.
really hard to make sense of. And then there was these hounds. They did not like goblins, that's for freaking sure. But I wasn't able to get much further than that. Do you remember anything?
The music was beautiful, but I just zoned out and feel slightly nauseous, and I need more of this.
I tried to grab the last memory just so I could implant it, so you could at least have that experience.
No, it's a blur. I'm sorry. I don't got nothing.
And I gotta say this now. It's between us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go spouting this.
What did you see?
Your memory at this point is even becoming a little bit fuzzy. It was so fast and and everything was so quick, and the pain was so intense that it more or less you're very fuzzy, like having a concussion at this point.
It really wore off fast. It's like a trick. If you can't land it, the whole thing's a wash.
I mean, at least it was the first step towards something, and I'm not dead. I'm still here, so...
Well, that's absurd.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite expecting that much of a backlash. That's not really happened before.
That's just magic for you.
But...
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Progress, right?
Try it again in the future, then.
Next time you fail better. Right? You fail, then the next time you fail better.
I surely hope so.
It seems that you've been hanging out with some wizards in hell.
Wizards in hell? I mean, there's Locke and Katharina, magic users.
You think you guys might have seen some hell stuff you weren't supposed to see? It seemed like it reminds me of a much, much more powerful version of a mind blink spell.
Mind blink?
Yeah, I have a buddy who uses mind blinks to pull some of his tricks.
I cast that spell on myself just before we went through the portal.
Oh, so maybe you did you do it?
It was a scroll. I don't know the spell.
Oh well,
but I know it's
it does it.
I suppose it doesn't.
What?
So when he mentions mind blank, there's actually a small flash of a memory, and you remember writing something in your spell book.
So I kind of run my thumb down the pendant, and then the spell book appears, like pages, a holograph, and I swipe and it. Is it in my book?
It is.
Whoa! You can just do that?
I wipe it away.
What kind of magic is that?
Jarvis is it?
Yeah. This is it was on me when I was awoken. It's from Sultanas, I imagine. The original empire.
Did you see something? Is there something in there?
The mind blank. I learned the spell. It's in my book.
You could have casted it?
I can.
Yeah, but it's a pretty powerful version of mind blank. Are you even capable of that?
I didn't think so.
Well, this is even better because we blanked it. Maybe we can figure out how to unblank it.
Then the question is, if you are not that strong now, or you were, why are you not now?
The effect does seem to be a mix of both arcane and divine magic that I don't believe Locke alone could accomplish.
Kind of just quick deep lore question. The way that the weave works and magic works in Terrowyn and stuff like that, when someone casts a spell, is there any possible way, given like the best circumstances and stuff, that one magic user could see like the signature of who cast it? Like, is there any way to associate, like if Katarina fireballed the tavern and then somebody came by days later and like really tapped into like what happened in the weave, could they tell who cast it at all?
You have heard of such spells,
Of these
but
spells.
the circles have them banned because it manipulates time.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Just a
They
thought
can
of...
kind of basically, if they cast a spell, one of these ancient spells, you can kind of reverse or replay an event that happened within the vicinity. So you've heard of very powerful time manipulation magic that can do that, and you know that like anybody who specializes in maybe finding
That's why it won't let me add it.
mages
No, I can't
from the
cast that spell
circles.
at all.
They're if you have the spell book, you might be able to.
Okay, but it's not like an experienced like sorcerer couldn't just tap into the weave and like get a vibration that it could be like locked to cast a spell or something. It's one of these really involved.
Yeah, no, it's an involved. It's either some sort of involved ritualistic spell or it takes time to figure it out.
The lore is awesome.
The only way you can figure it out is by having the spell book or whatever was used to cast it. For like sorcerers, it's especially difficult because they don't have books or anything. They just do it innately, the same way kind of bards do.
Yeah.
So for a wizard, if you had the spell book, you could reverse engineer and maybe put it together. But there's no there's no way to like go, oh well, Soyasa cast that spell and this is her like thing, because fireballs cast the same everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody casts the same fireball because if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. And some very powerful wizard wrote fireball a very long time ago.
Yeah. Just picking your brain.
Yeah. But there are involved rituals like that with time manipulation where you could like go back to a scene and that's more effective technically. Then you can actually just see them cast the spell. But it's that sort of time manipulation magic is basically banned.
Cool.
It breaks stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just realized what level my blink is. And lock. That spell is far beyond my capabilities.
Oh, pass me some of that. I need a drink myself.
Take as much as you want.
It may have been whoever taught you the spell that did it to us then.
Maybe you just found it, can't you? Like, I don't know how that works, but I know wizards and decipher stuff.
I could have written it from a source,
I mean,
but I certainly cannot cast it.
What about the ring? Did you not have a ring of that spell? Or a scroll?
The scroll I used before we went in. I can't remember anymore.
I'd say relax and have a drink and maybe it'll come to you, but I don't think you do that. Do you, Robo Man?
I can't drink, no.
I'm confused. I don't remember. Why did you cast it on yourself before we went through the portal?
We were going to have a meeting with Kavira. I didn't want her reading my thoughts and learning of your...
Makes sense.
Could you have learned it from a memory of the scroll?
I mean...
Oh. Your people have that kind of thing? That's very dangerous.
To see it only the one time and just recreate it perfectly, that'd be quite a feat for any wizard. I like to think of myself as pretty good, but I don't think so. Not without assistance.
Well, look at you as I poke at your metal body. You're not just any wizard.
You are correct.
Could it be something from your past?
Well, it is, isn't it? Objectively. But... I'm sorry. I understand what you're trying to ask. I don't think so. Because even... I had no desire for this even... this isn't a specialty of spell that I was particularly interested in learning. I don't like the implications of altering people's memories and thoughts. It seems intrusive. Rude. It is.
It's a matter of perspective.
Even though we need it now. I understand its necessity, it makes me uncomfortable.
Maybe you should pick up a new major.
You know, it's odd because I have undoubtedly a well of lost memories. All of my kind do. But I find it's complex and dangerous to play in the mind, and if I could learn academically what my people are and where we're from, that's what I would have preferred to do.
You guys are heroes. You don't learn things academically. You do it through practice. Am I right?
There's something to be said for a bit of academics, but
It's fair.
Yeah, we got the Saviors of Rivergate in the house, right?
Is that what they're calling us?
Oh, that's what I heard.
I would estimate that about 95% or so of my experience is purely from reading.
My experience when it comes to most things is swinging it until it stops swinging back.
and you
Well,
see,
let's-
mine's 50-50, so
Let's be fair. You don't remember having like the last 7 months or whatever, right?
yeah.
This is correct.
Since the event that we will henceforth be calling it, for discretion's sake.
You know, it's still weird that even with my head still buzzing, it's weird to think about. We've known each other for over 7 months now. We keep talking like it was just Rivergate, but we've been together for a long time.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah, your best friends start acting like it, right?
I bought them food and drink. That's how I show affection.
Friends will get you everywhere. Almost everyone in this place is a friend, except for Mark. There was a guy named Mark watching, not actually a fan.
We did come out of hell together. We
We
must
did?
have learned to trust each other over that time.
I mean, I just started trusting you the second you pulled that damn cord from my neck in the laboratory. But you're right. I hope we remember, because I'm sure there's some good memories in there too.
It cannot all be bad.
So the next thing is, what are we going to do?
Well, from what I understand, you got a job ahead of you, right?
That we do. What I mean is, are we doing it right away? Are we going to enjoy?
The orbs will keep, but I think to go any further without knowing what happened to us could be a mistake.
I do agree that some downtime would be preferred before
And
we
Yeah,
embark.
I'm damaged.
I do need. We need to find the forge.
What happened to your arm?
Something hit him hard enough that the little pieces inside his blade are broken. In order for me to fix it, it will take a little bit of time, and possibly a forge, depending what is broken.
I've done that.
I look back and forth between him and you inquisitively.
It's unclear.
Might I take a look at it? Can I try casting mending on it and see if it does anything?
Yeah. No, so you cast the cantrip and it repairs it.
Nice.
There we go.
Don't teach him that. He needs me to do that.
So it's not hidden by the sleeve anymore. So I kind of just do a little jerking motion, and it like just opens up like Bombay doors, and then just right out. And
Whoa! Keep that to yourself. At least till you figure out who you are or whatever.
and then it goes back in. Thank you.
What the?
Anytime. Not anytime. Godric will fix it next time.
No, you are fine.
This one time.
Well, the curiosity is, I have been in combat with him, and he's seen me take a hit or two.
Put it this way: the only time I've ever seen him dented was a building fell on him.
So, I never really seen one of you in person, but the ones I've heard about are kind of thick-headed. You know what I'm saying? They don't.
They're not awakened, or not fully. Yes.
Yeah, did you fix them? You're talking about making repairs and stuff. Is this your handiwork?
No.
It's,
I found him a long time ago in chains.
It's a strange I can't even explain it myself.
I have learned to work on him after so long.
We spent some time in the gnome
Yeah, but
with gnomes after he.
so did the gnome wake you up? I'm getting a little lost here.
No,
No,
many years ago, I was hired to investigate ruins of
Sultanus.
Sultanus, and when we were exploring, I bumped into him. He was wrapped in adamantine chains, and I woke him up on accident. The rest is
How'd you wake him up?
He
Got
bumped,
like a button or something?
I
he
touched
bumped
him,
into me,
and
and it was enough, apparently.
magic. I do not know.
Nothing before that. Just nothing.
Like a newborn. I even had to learn how to speak.
It is true. That is where his name comes from. I was the key. He was the lock.
That's very romantic.
I learned quickly, so it came to me quickly. It was less learning, more remembering, I suppose, is how I better describe. But yes, I couldn't speak. I'd only.
So you go from that situation. So when did the whole being a wizard come about? I assume you didn't teach him how to be a wizard.
No, that was more remembering too. I guess I am more familiar with this whole remembering forgotten things than the rest of you.
What am I doing? What am I even doing?
No. This is different than that. These
You
memories.
hit the chair in the sidelines?
Cheer, sideline, silent. You think this is a side act?
It seems
You're
like-
lucky we're friends.
We're friends?
Oh yeah, we're definitely friends. You know me like that, but not too good.
I look at Locke for confirmation.
He says you're friends.
Look, he's dumbfounded. I know it's a lot to take in being friends with me. It can be a bit of a challenge, but it's good to have friends. Like my friend behind the bar. Hey, more drinks over here.
Yeah, so this this just normal looking like handsome elf just kind of sees you and just, all right, to get it right to you.
Wait,
Oh, I like this place. The elves, they actually treat you like you're a person.
My
You know-
original memories came back of their own accord, yes,
In
but
time.
easily. These ones fight me actively.
what about Patty? What has happened to her?
Who's Patty?
Well,
She's
a gnome.
she's a
from
gnome
Belindle.
that was helping us. When we went into hell, her warforged came in and was the one to help us.
she also didn't return.
She is actually the way I met these two. I knew
Oh,
her
really?
from. Yes, I knew her in Belindle, and when she said that she might have a lead on my father in the Circle of Mirrors, and I met them just outside.
Wait, lead on your father? Did something happen to him?
I guess it's been over a year now that we've been gone so long, but he disappeared, I guess. He often went on trips for several weeks or so without letting me know, but this time I waited at home for nearly 3 months before I decided that maybe something had happened, so I ventured out to look for him. That was only a couple months before I met this group.
So you still don't know where he is then?
No, and it's been a long time now. I'm worried that something terrible happened. Luckily, though, he is a very powerful wizard, and I do know that he will be able to hold his own to some extent.
I'm sure he will.
Godric should have been patting himself down to see if he has the other stone.
The talking stone.
Sending stone?
Not a sending stone, technically.
Oh.
All right, well,
Because
all that is good, but it's time we discuss the council. And
Whoa. That's a little high society talk for this place.
Do you have a better idea?
Well, at least not out here in the open as I look around the room. Now, that's more of a private conversation.
After we have had our fill, we may return to the circle of deep shadow.
Do I find the stone, the talking stone that we used?
It's not a stone.
It's a device that she made.
Device. Yeah. Do I find the device then? Because I know that the last person I remembered having it was Hargraves.
If he was the last person that had it, then you don't find it.
Oh no.
Patty will turn up if she needs us.
Hopefully she gets word.
I'm sure she has.
But yes, what do we plan to do? Do we this is the first time that I have not felt the need to run in a while.
You're telling me.
We have some downtime if we wish.
Well, yeah, I could show you around, introduce you to some people if you need.
How long have you been here?
Oh, here? I've been here about 4 weeks.
Is there this is an elven city, right? Okay. Is there this is an interesting question. Do elves forge? Do they make weapons here? Is there a place? Yeah.
Well, I do know that elves forge, and I do know that there are vendors. If the vendors, I haven't really been buying weapons and armor per se. I'm sure they can hook you up with the stuff you need, Mr. Craftsman.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm still worried. Last time I saw Patty angry, things did not go so well. It might be worth us reaching out to her.
Do you have any way we can contact her, though?
We're in the city of elves. I'm pretty sure there is magic of the sort somewhere.
Well, I'm just gonna say, if you don't want to see her angry, it's probably not a good idea to get a hold of her and tell her a robot is missing.
It is better than than to run away and not say anything, because then she is twice as mad.
Is it? Maybe you just figure out what happened to her little friend first.
No, he's right on this one. He's very right.
Oh, geez, suit yourself.
But regardless, we could take a couple days, eat some good food, drink some good drink, maybe try this, try your skills with our memories a couple more times as you puzzle it out, see if we make progress.
I could try. I can work on it. That was just pretty rough. Not exactly wanting to jump right back into that again.
If there is a library here, I would like to read up more about the dragon orbs, see if I can find anything else about them.
I mean, do we have to go back to the Circle of Shadow? Can we just not get a room at this tavern or somewhere else nearby and be in the wild for a bit and be in the open?
Well, yeah, you get a room.
I don't think Ileana was expecting us back, was she? Not immediately, at least.
I believe that rooms will probably be open for us if we need them, but I think we are free to move about at our own accord.
Yeah, I can't make any promises about the magic. It's one of those things, I gotta think of a different approach.
It's the effort that counts. As long as we keep trying, I'm sure something will be rustled out.
Well, that's the whole thing. That's why I gotta come up with a different approach. If I try the same thing or get a little reckless, it could even be worse. It was, to put it mildly, it was unpleasant. But yeah, we can get you some rooms, maybe get you a sense of normalcy, get you outside a little bit, do that hell of a depression you got, if you know what I'm saying. But I will say this. I want to be a little discreet when talking about certain Agendorbs. Yeah, Agendorbs.
What language is that? I don't recognize it.
Oh yeah, it's something us goblins use sometimes, and we don't want people knowing what we're talking about. Problem is, all the goblins know it, so it's kind of unfruitful.
No, I don't know how to speak goblin.
Yeah, but the bugbears, though, they never catch on.
What does that word look? What does he say?
What?
What is this word?
Bugbear? They're like goblins, but they're really big. But their arms are freakishly long. So when you insult them, you gotta be a little bit further away.
So
They're too
Katerina,
lazy to chase you after time.
you actually hear a voice in your head, and it's you hear Novar and Katerina. When you have a moment, you can return to us, and I can explain to you and provide information on my contact in Lior. When you have a chance. So it's the sending spell, so you can reply.
I will meet you back at the circle as soon as I am free. It seems that Novar has more information. I may head back to the circle right away.
How did you know?
He sent me a message.
Of course.
I might be able to ask him to contact Patty the same way.
If that is possible. Do you want more than one of us? Do you want to go alone?
We know you can handle yourself, but it's just after hell. Traveling alone is...
Travel in pairs. It is safer.
It
Yes.
would be irresponsible of me to let you go by yourself. So, of course, this one's gonna go. He knows magic stuff.
There are multiple people here that know about magic. Thank you, Goblin.
Okay, well, he's a wizard or whatever.
I'd be happy to accompany you if you'd like.
That would be lovely.
Look.
Meanwhile, we'll look around. We'll
I'll
get you some
play
crafting
nice.
tools.
What did you say?
I said I'll play nice.
I just gave him the.
I saw that. That wasn't very subtle. What was that about?
That was not
Me
supposed
and the
to be
wizards
subtle.
are having a disagreement.
You know who?
The wizards of the circle.
Look, I can always go if you want someone else to step in. I'd be happy to go with Katarina.
It's fine.
Okay.
Are you sure it's fine? Because it doesn't sound very fine. Sounds quite unfine.
I will try to repair the bridge before it is washed away.
Oh, look at us. We're all talented crafters. Okay, sounds like a plan. Meanwhile, we'll get a room here and I'll get you guys set up. And
Thank
then maybe tomorrow, after we recover, after I recover, had quite the night, we'll go around and see the sights. Get you some...
About what time of day is it?
Right now, it's still pretty early in the day. You woke up in the afternoon, so it's maybe just pushing. I guess it's not really early in the day anymore, the wrong way, but it's early evening at this point.
We'll be waiting for you when you get back, so can you send messages like that? Perhaps my head with the side of the tail.
I do not have that ability. Do you, Locke?
I do not know.
How about we meet back here? We can have rooms here for the night.
Godric and I will spend some time drinking and we'll get some rooms.
At that, I raise my glass and kind of call over the barmaid if I can.
Okay, so she comes back. Oh, what can I help you with?
Does this place have rooms for rent?
Oh, of course it does.
We will take 1, 2. Wait, he's got one. 1, 2, 3.
The going rate is 8 silver pieces per room per night.
Can't we give them the friends and family rate? They're with me.
Make a persuasion check.
I will definitely do that! I'm so excited! Oh!
Is he excited?
I'm still excited.
He's halfway excited.
Yeah, because I got a 10 plus 12, so 22.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
So,
Come on.
sure. 4 silver pieces per room per night.
Don't tell anybody else, but she's my favorite.
That's not too bad of a rate.
You can't make me look bad. You gotta agree to pay.
Of course, we will,
Yeah,
yes.
you gotta make me look like a friggin' asshole over here.
We'll purchase a room for everyone, please.
One less room for me and him. Locke, wow. That took him. That stuff is good.
They've been traveling a lot, really weary. You know how it gets.
So one for our room. He does not sleep anyway. He just downloads updates.
Actually, Katarina, would you mind if we split one? I'd rather not. It's embarrassing to say, but I'd rather not sleep alone right now.
Of course I do not mind.
Thank you.
Well, I might chop a liver.
But I get the impression that you don't sleep alone often.
Yeah, I don't like to sleep alone. I like a couple people in there. It makes me feel at home. This home. You know, like a can of sardines. I love it.
So,
Is this a common way to sleep in this city? Many people in one bed?
It should be. It should be.
See, I can finally agree with you on something.
Yeah, when I'm big and I'm making all the decisions, that's how things will feel.
Yeah, so we pick up with you basically settling into your rooms individually. You two get a room together. The goblin already has a room, so it doesn't matter. Honeysuckle has been like wandering around doing her own thing, but she has her own room as well. So
There were crackers at brink.
Alright, so
So I think we're gonna head back to the circle to go talk to Novar.
So you're gonna go travel all the way to Yavalari then?
Oh, how
Right.
far is that?
Well, I mean, if you're taking the teleportation circle, it's not
We
a
will
problem.
do that.
Yeah, Alaska doesn't have a circle.
Oh, Alaska does not have a circle. So we can teleport there, but we won't be able to teleport
Yeah,
back.
you can teleport back.
Oh, we can teleport.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what Ilyana said, that they worked on opening up the elven teleportation circles.
Gotcha. Okay, sweet. Yes, we will teleport.
Yeah. Okay.
That is preferred.
All right, so you make your way over to the teleportation circle. When you came in, underneath the basically the gazebo covered in like ivy and stuff, and you activate the sigils and the runes that are there, and poof, you appear back in Yavalari in the circle in the teleportation room.
Just like that?
Just like that.
I will go
Just
ask,
like
whoever the nearest, I don't know, wizard or apprentice, whoever is around where Novar, to ask them where Novar is.
Okay. Yeah, so you just pick up this another one of the elven guards, and he just directs you to his quarters.
Perfect. This way then. And I'll head
After you.
where they directed us.
That was the wrong thingamabobber right there. Okay,
Katarina.
Yes.
Are you gonna have this conversation while you're walking the
As we're
halls?
walking, yeah.
Okay.
Your connection to magic.
Mhm.
You said your father was a wizard.
Yes.
Did he teach you?
In a way. It's sort of an innate ability that I have, I guess. I didn't learn magic from books. I studied other things. But he helped me practice it. He seems to know a lot about my powers, more than I even do.
And what did you say his name was again?
Malark Greycastle.
Is he a member of one of the circles?
I don't know. It's possible. The last bit of information I heard about him was word of him at the Circle of Mirrors from Patty, but I do not actually know if he was a member of any of the circles.
Okay. What? Think this is the place?
Yeah, so the door just opens, and it's basically it's a living quarters. It's pretty simple. Everything is very nice and like very ornate. Everything is obviously elvish made and fashioned. You know, there's like a bed near the window, a balcony, like plenty of vaulted room and space in the ceiling. But outside of that, you don't see anything that stands out as particularly special or magical. It's definitely not like a wizard's workshop. You do see a set of wizard's robes and a staff. kind of sitting against the wall on the far side of the room. There's some tapestries. Everything matches basically the circle of deep shadows. Their emblems, lots of greens and gold on the curtains in the room. But Novar's in there sitting at basically kind of near a fireplace, just like smoking a pipe. And he sees you in the doorway. Oh, come in.
Good evening, Novar.
Yes, I'm glad that you could make it so soon.
Well, I was very interested to hear what information you have.
So, more or less, just have some information pertaining to the circle and its protections and what you might have to overcome. And also, I have somebody there you might be interested in meeting up with. He's a long time... I guess long time isn't putting it correctly, but he's definitely a friend to the circle. Has family in court in Lior. You may be able to glean some information on him on the inner workings of the circle and what's happened there. Maybe even find out why Lior chose not to send a representative. All of our messages have gone unanswered.
Who is this individual?
His name is Lucien Volthier.
And he was a member of the circle?
No, not a member. He comes from a very prestigious family, very high up in the rankings. His uncle is actually the magical advisor to the Empress herself. I think his particular knowledge and expertise may come in handy. He's studied dragons his entire life. And based on what I've seen of him, I assume that's where his family gets their magic from. Somewhere, one of his ancestors is probably a dragon or knew a dragon that gave them their powers.
Interesting. And so, do you believe that this might be the best source of knowledge to learn more about the dragon orbs?
He won't be able to give you any more insider information to the dragon orbs than we can. Ileana knows very little. She does know some, and little information that we've gleaned is that elven mages 3,000 years ago basically used a very important and now long lost ancient dwarven forge to manufacture them, at least the base components. Some of the other details are missing. He won't be able to give you any more information on that subject, but what he can do is give you a safe place to stay within the city where you wouldn't be suspect being so close to the court itself and those who are involved in it. Nobody would assume to go to his residence and look for any sort of outsiders or intruders. His family is considered extraordinarily loyal.
And you trust him not to expose us to the Empress while we are there?
Lucien is sort of how should I put it, a black sheep to the family, but he still is family. So unless his uncle has a reason to put his own nephew in danger, then no. There's no reason that Lucien himself would give you up in that way. Especially if you don't tip him off to exactly why you're there. I will not have pre-informed him of any of your movings. It will be up to you to maintain some sort of reason for you being there.
And you have a way to contact him to let him know that we are arriving?
I will contact him and tell him simply that to expect guests of mine in the city. We can discuss what that might be. Academic reasons? The circle is closed, so what other reasons would you have to be there? Studying magic. That all happened at the circle.
What about diplomatic reasons to understand why the Empress was, or a representative was not present at our council?
I don't think we should draw that kind of attention. Maybe we're
That is
just
fair.
friends, visiting friends.
I have never been to Lior. It may just be travel. I don't know how plausible that is in current times.
Lior, as of yet, hasn't closed its borders, just closed itself off politically from the rest of its allies. Again, they are mobilizing for conflict, we know that. The question is, whose conflict, where, or what is threatening them? Word is that they had seen flights of dragons nearby in many of their outlying territories. That would be enough to alarm any kingdom.
So our presence alone in the city would not draw suspicion.
No, it would not. Not from guards, not from any other wizards or anybody else in the city. You would directly have to act in some way as to draw attention to your own intentions while you're there. But approaching the circle, since it's been sanctioned and no one is there, will draw attention. So you must find a way to be unseen, or at least mitigate those odds or chances. There may very well be spies already watching it, or you may very well run into her own war wizards attempting to break into the circle.
We'll simply be his friends, come to visit. And then we can plan from there.
I believe that the less information given, the better in this situation.
Might I suggest that you just simply work into his expertise?
Yes.
You heard through me that has a great deal of knowledge involving dragonkind, and you are there to delve through his personal collections and glean into his minds and insights. And then when he's not available, not watching, you simply go to the circle.
That's good.
Seems reasonable enough.
If he appears to be loyal to the cause, or maybe you see his political leanings fall more in line with the rest of the Shattered Coast, then maybe at your own discretion you could choose to divulge information to him, but it's not a requirement. He is fairly clever. He's a powerful sorcerer, much like yourself.
I do have one question, slightly off topic. Is there a reason that we were not informed of the location of these dragon orbs before the council?
Well, Ileana and I myself disagreed vehemently on multiple occasions about whether or not we should make the general population aware. As they are directly in my care, I decided that I would override her opinion and share it anyways. But like I mentioned at the council, the very knowledge of their existence in the wrong hands prompts the cult of domination and other evil dragons of their ilk to have better cause for going to war with everyone else when they supposedly were destroyed. It gives them all the reason not to trust humanoid races. If Takesis' release and coming back is their ultimate goal, which I believe it is, based on everything that you said and everything that we've seen, then it serves as a rallying cause for Takesis to bring more forces to her side. What more does she need not to say, listen, you betrayed me for no reason, they still can't be trusted and they still have the weapons of mass destruction designed to kill our kind. And they cannot be destroyed by any means by which we have discovered. They are simply too powerful.
Maybe possessing these orbs will be enough to lure out the metallic dragons, and they will be able to help us understand them better.
They might be the only ones left who actually know. You know, the first one was found in Marseille. The red dragon orb was found in Marseille, buried in the tomb of a dragon knight, below the capital.
How long ago was this dragon knight laid to rest?
I have no idea. Nobody does.
It is a miracle that you and the other adventurers were able to find them all. From what I've heard, they seem to be very well hidden.
Yes. And then, obviously, the metallic dragons, whoever were in charge of destroying them, went to great lengths and cares to make sure that they were hidden in places that would make them near inaccessible to normal individuals. One was found in the fallen elven city of Valneth, which had been overrun and infested with demons years ago. Thousands of years ago it fell.
The dragons that decided against destroying the orbs, do any of them still live?
I don't know who it is. The vote was unanimous. They were to be destroyed as an agreement with all of it. With the surrender, with their betrayal of Takesis. I'm not quite sure what... It had to have been a sole actor. Maybe one who was actually charged with taking them to their destruction. Decided otherwise.
Do you believe that we will be able to trust the metallic dragons once these orbs are found?
I don't believe we have much of a choice otherwise. We will
That's
need
fair.
them on our side for the coming conflict, and they would like them removed as much as we would. Metallic dragons would not want these orbs turned on them any less than their kin if they don't have to.
It's understandable. Do we have a safe place to keep the orbs once they have been recovered from Lior?
Safe is a relative term in these tumultuous times.
That is true.
The Lady Elashnor agreed to house them temporarily in her possession in Aleska.
Is there merit to keeping them separated? Or is keeping them all together the same?
It would make it difficult to destroy them all at once if we finally find an answer to that. We have to track them all down individually and bring them together again. The only safe way to make sure that them staying separate would make them safe is to make sure that not everyone is aware of where each individual orb went. And I'm not 100% convinced that the Cult of Domination isn't actually aware that they exist. That they're looking for them or have a way to find them.
It does seem that they know of the existence of other ancient relics. Such as the Dragon's Crown? Do you know of it?
I do know of it.
What power does that have?
We're not really sure. References in ancient texts say that it was a crown that... a right to rulership over all dragon kind. That it had the power to... Well, we're not quite sure. But we do know that Takesis wore it. That it did have some sort of magical powers. That it made her exceptionally powerful and dangerous to deal with. Some of the text alludes to the fact that it may actually control or have the ability to control the minds of other dragons.
Do you believe that there would be use going after this relic?
Getting it before them and putting it in our hands would definitely make them weaker. It would make her weaker if she does come back, although she's not here. So, in our hands, it could just serve as another ancient relic to hide from those who would seek to misuse them.
Are there any rumors to its location?
No.
I imagine that searching for it would put us in a collision course with her confederates.
But unavoidable it must be.
Yes.
One of the reasons that you were brought back. Other adventurers, much like yourselves, spread throughout Terrowyn, are coming into conflict with the Cult of Domination. Fighting will be unavoidable. Our goals may coincide directly with theirs and put you at odds with them. We won't be able to avoid fighting, especially since we're looking at a war.
I don't expect to avoid a fight, just an observation. Do we want to do that now, or
Well, we know where the orbs are, and that is our primary responsibility, is to retrieve them.
While the elves here do have extensive records of many powerful and ancient magical artifacts, although they have refused to participate in the coming conflict, citing that they must remain neutral, the Netherine League may be able to grant some insight. Their Wizards Academy is known throughout most of the rest of the Southern Realms. Traveling to the capital city, Terrowyn, may net you some leads in the direction of the location of either the Dragon's Crown or knowledge of the Dragon's Orb.
Well, that may be our next journey after we have attained the orbs then.
What do I know of that order? Anything? Like, just like reputation?
Make a history check.
A general reputation.
The general reputation is what basically what Novar said.
But like their demeanor and like their...
The Netherine League is made up of 3 separate kingdoms that form an alliance called the Netherine League, which is basically bears the title of the most powerful and largest of the 3 kingdoms, which is Netherine, and their capital Terrowyn houses one of the most advanced and most powerful magical societies on Terrowyn as a whole, competing with probably the elves and the Osmoth guilds when it comes to advancements. If you choose not to join a circle or go to a circle, many aspiring wizards, sorcerers, and such travel to Terrowyn to go to their wizard's school. But they're kind of
standoffish,
pompous, and their general political leanings are of neutrality with the Shattered Coast, and sometimes they have they've been known to take aggressive stances in minor border clashes with the Bravashan Empire.
Okay.
I do not believe I have further questions at this point.
Okay. Well, I might as well explain to you what you might have to deal with. Entering the circle itself shouldn't be much of a problem. I'm sure that they've broken through the magical locks and barriers that they wouldn't form much of a stance against trained war wizards. The real issue that they would run into is actually locating the magic entrance to the vault below, which keeps or used to house many of the powerful artifacts that we had there. Most of them were moved from the premise when we abandoned the city. We have hidden them in a different and safe location. The dragon orbs, we decided would be better off staying there underneath the protection of its guardian. Deep within the vault. You will have to take my key. And with that, he goes underneath his wizard robe and he pulls out this kind of almost mundane looking gold key, but it has a singular large agate at the center back of it. Hands it to Locke. This key is enchanted. Following it will take you and lead you to the vault entrance. Normally, going to the vault requires a series of spells and incantations, most of which I can write to you and give to you. And he hands you several pieces of paper with magical incantations that seem like they either bypass or remove magical barriers and traps from what you can see. The obstacle that will cause you the most problem is that when we left, in order to make sure if all the rest of that failed, we set the vault's guardian to basically kill anybody who came through there, including other wizards from the circle.
And what matter of beast is this guardian?
Well, yeah, Taras.
Oh. Okay, well they're safe. We're leaving them there.
Yeah, they're great. We'll just leave them there.
Even dragons
that
like,
plan.
no.
The Guardian is a massive magical construction amalgamation of metal. It's mostly made of solid dimaterium and will be resistant to almost all magical attacks. And all mundane weapons will simply be reflected off of it. You won't be able to harm this creature with anything less than adamantium weapons. But if you wish to know, when it attacks you, you'll know, but it's shaped to look like a ginormous spider. The Guardian, its legs are slashing blades, and is capable of firing magical attacks from many of its rubied eyes. It is not to be trifled with. Do not underestimate this machination. It is capable of seeking in and finding and tracking any item that comes within its realm or purview of protection. You will not be able to outrun it or leave it behind once you have activated it and taken the dragon orbs. It will hunt you down and kill you and take them back. It must be destroyed.
Does it have weaknesses?
No. It is designed to kill intruders, not to just be a stepping stone or a minor obstacle.
Are there sorts of magics that it's particularly strong against?
Resistant to all magical attacks.
That's unfortunate.
I hope that we will be able to commandeer some healing potions and the like from the circle before our
The circle
journey?
is completely emptied, but if you mean here, then sure, they would be able to provide you with some of it, and the adamantium weapons have been provided on behalf of the Steel Confederacy.
That would be much appreciated. Well, thank you for the warning. That is definitely useful information.
Take care when handling the dragon orbs. While they appear to be mostly inert, there still are some residual magics that live deep within the artifacts themselves. And reported from wizard acolytes and other wizards who had interacted with them that there is a powerful persuasive force that sometimes comes to the surface through them.
So, those that are strong of mind would be best to handle.
Most strong of mind.
That is good to know.
That is all the information that I have.
Thank you. It is most appreciated. I think that we all need some time to recuperate. We will be staying in Alaska tonight. But we will be sure to check back in before we embark to Leor.
Please do. If there's any other guidance or assistance that I could give you, just let me know. I may or may not have several spell scrolls laying around somewhere that I could pass your direction.
Those would be useful. We seem to have lost ours.
It makes sense. The ferryman on the river Styx requires heavy payment for riding his boat. And he does not take mundane wealth.
Well, there's one piece of the puzzle.
Possibly.
Well, thank you. We will be sure to return, and if I have any further questions, I will be sure to ask them.
Good day.
And to you.
and he just turns and goes back to digging through tomes and writing some notes with his pen.
Alright. Unless there's anything else you want to do, we'll head back to the teleportation circles.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
Alright, yeah, we'll head back to the teleportation circles and head back to the Dark Leaf Tavern.
All right. So, you get back to the city, you go through the teleportation circle and make your way back to the Dark Leaf Tavern. The tavern it's settled down a little bit now. It's starting to finally get like dark and move out, but walking through the city and catching the sunlight, like the dying sunlight coming through the trees, you can see in the underside of many of the branches the linings and the deep golds and magical essences that you can see, like glowing butterflies and mushrooms and stuff come alive within the city. It's at this point that you kind of put together like the concept of why they call it the ever-setting woods and the ever-setting city. It's a beautiful array of fluorescent colors and imagery everywhere. The street lamps light up even brighter, given these light blue hues to all the objects within range of them. Most of the trade ships and merchant ships are closing down for the night, and they're tying the boats to the docks and moving in the last of their trade goods to their storage. So it's the entertainment on the inside of the Darkleaf Tavern has taken like a quieter tone. Now there's storytelling happening with light music and assistance. Along with those, most of everybody else has settled down for dinner at night, and you make your way to your rooms, I suppose?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The goblin takes the stage.
The goblin takes the stage.
Encore.
All right. Lights, as he points up to the corner, and there's a little hooded lantern that has a filter on it, and it turns a deep shade of blue. And it shines down upon him as he gets up there with his guitar. He's like, this one goes out to my friend, the Crin Reaver. As he gets up, and he starts playing this little guitar. His little guitar. And this is first off, I'm going to apologize to everyone in this room.
Oh. Oh no.
All right, we're ready.
I'm going to sing.
Oi.
And so he gets up, and he stands there, and gets ready. Everybody loves the things you do, from the way you talk to the way you move. Everyone in this tavern's been watching you, 'cause you look like a charm, you're like a spell cast true. So don't you leave me here alone, just spend some time before you go. Let me disguise myself just for a time, until the moment when you realize I'm not the man you left when you say goodbye. I'm a goblin in this land that's ruled by humans. I'm an ugly goblin in this land, he wishes he was human. You look like an enchantment, don't leave me for long when you are gone. As it closes out, thank you folks, tip your waitresses.
Encore.
Yeah, so you get a live applause from everybody and some cheers. Everybody enjoys what you did. And,
There were cheers!
yeah.
I don't hear, there were cheers.
I
So you
lean
step
over
down
on
off the
Soyasa's shoulder. I'm like, there are certainly worse places to recuperate.
It almost makes you forget about being in hell, doesn't it?
I wish we could remember.
There's a time and the place to walk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that was yeah. was amazing.
That's great.
It's almost like you always should have played a bard or something.
And with
it's
that
almost
wonderful
like that.
performance,
Performance.
I'm staying like this now because I can't speak no more. Shout out to Ken Reaver for your amazing donation here at this wonderful Legendary Action facilities. We appreciate you and hope you have a wonderful evening.
And to Texel for 800 or 500? 500 bits for more
500
cheers.
bits.
More cheers for
Oh,
Goblin.
more cheers. Oh, thank you, Tim. That means a lot coming from you.
Obscurial said, "Don't stop being a goblin."
Don't stop being a goblin. Gotta keep it.
Title of your next song.
Don't stop being a goblin.
Right? So
You're an amazing individual. That was fucking awesome.
That was
I've said my
amazing.
piece now.
That was
That was
amazing.
great.
So
Dude, that's hard.
yeah, it is. You kicked ass at
Hey, you
it.
banged it out. It's
yeah,
good.
so you exit the stage and get down, and everybody's like, "Hey," clapping and cheering, and it's all that good stuff. And you see everybody. You see basically the room, and everybody's there. But then you notice that outside of everyone, you notice all the elves in the room kind of stop what they're doing for a moment. And they all kind of look at each other. And this strange sense of concern begins to kind of come over all of them. There is a feeling that goes through the air akin to like a drop in air pressure. You feel the tree begin to creak in the branches. You hear some fall and crash to the ground. There's like a deadly storm, faint tremors feeling like a landslide approaching from far. The city around you is unnaturally quiet. You don't hear the sounds of chirping crickets or bird song. Everything has gone completely quiet. No dogs bark. The city is at a standstill. The elves inside kind of just turn and they head outside through the door. And you hear a cry in the street as they head out. All the other patrons of having humans, halflings, and gnomes, they kind of look at each other, confused as to what is happening or what this means. They begin to filter their way outside into the streets. Mm-hmm. So, how about it? Mm-hmm. So, as you hit the streets, you can see, like looking out around everywhere, that almost everybody's come out of their balconies. All the elves are standing outside looking. Coming up the road, you see a figure holding something behind them. Something covered in draped with a cloth. As it gets closer, you see that it looks like it's a thin, tall elf with long, almost blue-white hair that's braided and runs across her shoulder. She's carrying a wood staff wrapped in green plant life that glows kind of at the tips. As she gets closer, you can see that she's covered in blood running down all of her clothing. As she approaches the tavern and the crowd that gathers around her, many of the elves begin to sob openly. They begin to fall to their knees and begin to pray. You hear praise to Sehanin and Galorangel and their various gods in their pantheon. The druid falls to her knees and, sobbing full of tears, simply says, "Please, you must help me. They killed her." And she pulls the drape to reveal the dismembered body of a unicorn. The guardian was killed. There was nothing I can do. The ever-setting woods are now exposed. As tears begin to run down her face. Until next Friday.
Oh,
No, because it's not next Friday, you son of a...
No, yeah.
Next Friday. Yeah, congratulations.
No.
We hope that your adventures are many, that they're legendary, just like ours are here on the show, and we will see you next Friday for our 2-year stream anniversary. Have a good night, everybody. We love you.
Bye, guys.
Hey, everybody.